And Jake, as you know, this comes amid particular scrutiny of military reporting and military experience when you look at the examples of NBC's Brian Williams and Fox's Bill O'Reilly. Jake?
Suzanne Malveaux, thank you so much. The White House may be eager to accept McDonald's apology, but at least one veterans advocacy group is not so willing to necessarily let this slide. The Concerned Veterans for America released a statement today which reads in part, quote, Secretary McDonald, who had promised to restore integrity to the VA, has, through his own actions and words, reinforced the perception that the VA and its leaders still cannot be trusted to tell the truth. Harsh words. I'm joined now by the legislative and political director of the Concerned Veterans of America, Dan Caldwell, a Marine who fought in Iraq, and thank you for that, sir. So is this apology enough, or do you want McDonald to go? Should he resign?
No, we don't think Secretary McDonald should resign at this point. Quite frankly, it wouldn't make any difference. It wouldn't do anything to fix the VA. What we really need is true VA reform. We need to fundamentally reshape the VA. And we hope that Secretary McDonald uses this, has an opportunity to embrace that true reform, and to become more open and honest with the American people and the veteran community. However, we will say this, is that this is unfortunately part of a pattern of behavior on his part of misrepresenting the truth and misrepresenting facts about the VA and about himself.
What's a pattern? What's a prior instance?
Well, just last week he was found by the Washington Post to have, on Meet the Press, exaggerated the number of employees fired as a result of the VA waitlist scandal. Which
he said 900, and it wasn't 900?
Well, he said it was 60 employees, and it was actually a much, much lower number. Washington Post gave him 4 Pinocchios, and completely factual. In fact, during that press conference, I noticed that when reporters were asking him about that, he was dodging that question.
He did indeed.
It fits a pattern, unfortunately.
Dodge that question. Dan, stay with us for 1 second, because there's something that actually upsets me more about this, about the veterans and how they're treated in this country. I want to turn to this relevant story and get your reaction. A 41-year-old Iraq War veteran named Richard Miles, who reportedly suffered from post-traumatic stress, was found dead and frozen solid in a Des Moines park over the weekend. Miles was not wearing a coat or even a pair of shoes. Senator Joni Ernst, Republican of Iowa, says that Miles may not have received the mental health treatment he deserved. And she is calling on the VA Inspector General to conduct an immediate and thorough investigation into the mental health care programs for the VA in Iowa, also looking into the treatment provided to Richard Miles, as well as any requests for mental health care that he may have received and whether or not he received that care. These kinds of stories are sadly all too common. As somebody who used to do legislative work for a member of Congress tending to the needs of veterans, now you work with CVA, what needs to happen here so we stop hearing about these people who were traumatized in war ending up taking their own lives one way or another? You know, Jake,
to be honest with you, I've just become numb to these stories. I've heard so many of them. You know, I'm from Phoenix, where the scandal began. You know, CNN's did a lot of work on the ground in Phoenix reporting on that. I'm frankly numb to them at this point. I'm just not shocked by that. What needs to happen is we need to fundamentally transform how the VA delivers health care to our veterans. We need to fundamentally transform the culture of the VA and just completely reshape it. Quite frankly, this My VA reform plan that the Secretary's put out, it's a joke. Making VA employees wear these eye care pins and that's somehow evidence of reform, it's a joke. We need real reform, and my group, CVA, on Thursday is going to be rolling out a comprehensive VA healthcare reform plan, and we're going to, hopefully, this is a first step in fundamentally transforming the VA and how we deliver healthcare to our veterans, so we don't see any more stories like we saw just now.
Dan Caldwell, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and thank you, as always, for your service, and to your wife as well.
Thank you, and thank you for all your reporting on it as well.
Okay. She had a mission to educate young children in Nigeria. Now this American woman is missing. We will go live to that region to find out what's being done to find her, and reports of elaborate